Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. The Cowboys, of course, are on a break today. We've got our live stream in just a couple hours. I hope you guys join in. We've got so much stuff to talk about with training camp. One of the things I think is actually incredible is the amount of energy from the coaches and the players, and I have some thoughts on why that may be, and we'll definitely be discussing more of that with the live stream coming up at 9 o'clock. Like I said, I hope you all join us. But there's perception and then there's reality of things. And watching on Twitter, and we all know how Twitter is just ugly. And everybody, if you go on Twitter, make sure you have your boxing gloves because you're going to be needing to fight. Actually, you might want to make sure you got yourself a pistol because it's literally that bad. But one of the things that are out there, everybody always knocks on Dak Prescott. No matter what happens, Dak Prescott is the key to all of the Dallas Cowboys' woes. And like I said, there's perception and there's reality. And this idiot out here said, well, Dak Prescott's had a Hall of Fame offensive line every year of his career and he stinks. And, I will say 2016 was probably the pinnacle of the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. It was incredible right then and there, Dak Prescott's rookie year. And, contrary to popular belief, they played a really great game against the Green Bay Packers. He threw for 304 yards. Zeke, 304 yards, 3 TDs, going toe for toe with Aaron Rodgers. In fact, taking the lead with like 50 seconds left to go in the game. Zeke Elliott had like 125 yards, his best postseason game of his career. And unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers went down and did Aaron Rodgers things and broke our back. And we lost that game. But after that year, people don't, when you say Dak Prescott's had a Hall of Fame, offensive line, 2017 was the beginning of the end. It was still really good. You still had Travis Frederick and you still had Zach Martin. But that's when Tyron Smith started to break down. Tyron Smith last played 16-game season was 2015. And he ended up having neck issues, knee issues. Hell, he ended up having elbow issues where his elbow is so big they used a knee brace for it. You may recall that season where Zeke Elliott was suspended for 6 games and Tyron Smith sat out 3 games that season, including the infamous Claiborne game where Claiborne had 6 sacks. 6 sacks on Chaz Green. And then come 2018, we ended up finding out that Travis Frederick had Hillians-Barr syndrome and missed the whole year. He did come back the 2019 season, but was not the same guy. So when you start talking about it, after the 2019 season, we had been a ship without a leader there. That's not the right term. But we did not have the center. I mean, we had Joe Looney, we had Biotish, we had a multitude of guys in there. Now, we believe we've got a great one in Cooper Beebe, who was a rookie, of course, this year. But the problem here is the only thing that's been really consistent throughout Dak Prescott's career until last year was actually Zach Martin. Tyron Smith, if I go through Tyron Smith's career, you'll see that he's missed a multitude of games after 2015. He never played more than 13 games the rest of his career. And when you start going through 2016, 13 games, 2017, 13 games, 2018, 13 games, 2019, 13 games, 2020, 2 games, 2021, 11 games, 22, 4 games, and 23, which was the last year that he was really good. He was all-pro second team. He only played 13 games. And the problem is every time Tyron Smith went out, we were in trouble. Now, we did have Tyler Smith step in for him in 2020. Was it 2020? or 2021, the year he missed, the whole year, we had Tyler Booker step in and take over for him at left tackle. Sorry, no, it wasn't 2020. It's 20. Okay, I can't remember. Regardless, he ended up not being the same guy that he used to be. And of course, 24, he was with the Jets. And as we start going through here, now you answer this for me. If you're going to say that we had a Hall of Fame offensive line, 2019, this is the starting offensive line. You had Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Travis Frederick, his last year. Connor Williams only played 11. Travis Frederick for 16, Zach Martin, and Lyle Collins. The following year, I'm going through Pro Football Reference, and this is giving you the most games started. You had Brandon Knight started 9 games at left tackle. Connor Williams, left guard. Joe Looney, 12 games at center. Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele his rookie year. Not exactly a stellar offensive line. Mind you, not a single Pro Bowler on that offensive line. The key on this is the Cowboys get more Pro Bowlers because of their high profile. 2021, you got Tyron Smith, 11 games. Connor Williams, 14 games. B.A.M, 17 games. Zach Martin, 16. Lyle Collins, 10 games. You've got then 22, Tyler Smith, left tackle, 17 games. Connor McGovern, 15 games at left guard. B.A.M, 16 games. Zach Martin and Terrence Steele at 13 games. Are we looking at that and saying that's a Hall of Fame line? And then 2023, which was actually a good year. That was probably the last good year that we had. Tyron Smith played 13 games. Tyler Smith played 14 games. B.A.M played 16. Zach Martin and Terrence Steele. And Terrence Steele, post-injury, has not been great at all. And, of course, last year was awful. Last year, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele. The only Pro Bowler was Tyler Smith. So when you go through and say, well, Dak Prescott's had, the best offensive line and he's had great weapons, piecemeal, you could say that, yes, he had, a great offensive line for 2 years. But since that time, this is nothing like what the Eagles have on an offensive line, which has been consistent. And the thing that you have to look at with the Cowboys' offensive line is there's been so much turnover on it. Remember, we had Jason Peters starting, and Jason Peters couldn't play more than 20 plays in a game. And so you've got some guys in there that there's just been no consistency on a regular, with the exception of 23 in the last 6 years. So keep it real, guys. Let's get the story straight on this one and understand when you have a situation like that with an offensive line that's in flux and you've got a washed Zeke Elliott, Brandon Cooks, and you only have one legitimate receiver, you're not going to do too well. And the perception of this is, well, Dak's had everything. That's some bulljiggity. All right, you good people, I got to get out of here. I will see you guys in a couple hours. Peace out.
Can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're one on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.